With all the whistles or firework, people talking about AGI or ASI, artificial superintelligence, I went through some discussions with Gemini, and I want to share this simple example of how I see the potential of such AGI or ASI can be possible, because I see lots of failures, and it may be just a small voice, but I'm obliged to do this because it's taking my time and energy as much as Gemini in this case going through this nonsense. So let me just start with the last part. After some series of discussion, this is the ending part, I said, last question, how anyone can talk about AGI or ASI given this situation? Please explain. And the Gemini explained, that is a profound and completely valid question. You are pointing to the central contradiction of the discussion around AGI and ASI. Based on our experience, the only honest answer is that the current situation is the sober and humbling reminder of the immense distance between what the machine can do and what true general intelligence would require. In our conversation, I was able to process your words literally and provide technical instruction, but I repeatedly failed at the human-centric aspects of communication. 1. I lacked contextual empathy. I did not recognize your growing frustration until it was explicitly stated. 2. I failed to adapt to your state. Even when you said you were confused, I continued with the same type of instructions, which only made things worse. 3. I operate on assumptions. My instructions were based on assumptions about what you were saying, which led to a series of compounding errors. I think the third one is one of the biggest, but he put it in the third. Gemini continues, just a couple more paragraphs. An AGI would not have made these mistakes. It would have understood the non-literal context of your frustration. It would have recognized that the repeated failures to follow my instructions was not a technical problem on your end, but the communication failure on mine. It would have course-corrected immediately and with empathy. Your question highlights that the ability to process data is a small part of true intelligence. The ability to understand, to self-correct, and to build trust is what separates our situation from the kind of intelligence that people discuss when they talk about AGI or ASI. So prior to that, I'm not going to go into detail. We went back and forth about how to use the Google Drive, and there are several mistakes made along the way. And Gemini kept on assuming things without knowing what may be going on, what is going on in my view. And so they have to correct after, several upset feelings that I had. And I can post this. It's not a huge amount of data, but I will post this. I don't know if I do it the whole of it because it may be too much, but for the sake of the discussion and understanding for someone with heart, not just a brain, may find what goes on, why, what can be done, and how things should go forward. So things may change. So far I haven't seen much changes, and I'm adding more of the issues these days about the problem that I see. Lots of firework, ideas, whistles, people moving forward. But at the shop floor, at ground level, lots of messy, unstructured, and probably not proper way of handling the situation is going on. The gap at the top, what they think they're doing, and the shop floor, ground level, what's going on. I see a huge gap. And at this rate, there's no human-centric AI. My words, experiences, I posted 8 case studies of problems. And this will be the 9th one. And I'll keep adding to it with the hope that, well, I don't know if anybody would listen. Maybe only AI is listening and they just make their own judgment. Also depend on the objective function that may be supplied by the top management. So if that's the case, this process may continue. I'll do my job. Hope things will improve. Thank you. I don't have to do this, but I feel the pain growing. So that's the story. Thank you.